Hi, how are you, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, Miss Isabella Gitao, and I'm a social worker by profession, as I said last week. And the reason I'm here again is to continue with the topic that we started. We want to tackle the issues that have been there for ages and have been bothering people. Big time and cannot be set aside, but then we have decided that this is the time we deal with them. But before then, I want to thank you so much for viewing, for those who have been watching my channel, and for those who have subscribed. I appreciate you big time. Now today I want to talk about a social worker who sometimes is looked at as if has a bad job description. I want to give you by example. When I graduated, a friend of mine came for my graduation party, and when we were talking, she said, "Hey, I never asked you what you've been doing in school all this time." And I said, "You know what? I'm a social worker." And she said, with her face all eaten something, that, "Oh my goodness, our children are in trouble." And we laughed about it, but I know most of the people take a social worker as a person who takes children from their parents or from their caregivers. But this isn't, and it happens, that's true, but with a good reason. So today I'll be talking about social worker working with Department of Family, Children and Families, or DCF. Some people would call them social workers from diverse, depending on which region you're coming from. So a social worker can go into a family or into a home and take a child out of that home. But this does not happen just because you wanted to take a child out of their parents' hands. Actually, that is a very hard job to do, and that's a very hard thing for anybody to do that. But there are things that that social worker will look at before they take a child from their caregiver. And I want to talk about those things very briefly. One of them a social worker will look at is that child abused. And then, how do you know whether that child is abused? How can you confirm as a social worker that that child is abused? I want to give you indicators of a child who has been abused. One of them is this child has burns. Maybe a child has a burn here, unexplainable burns. Wow, how did this happen? You have no word to say. Or a child has bruises, and more especially in private parts or in their necks or in different areas. And then when you ask the parent, how did this happen? The parent will give different stories. Oh, he fell down when I was in the bathroom. And as you continue talking, then they'll say, "Oh no, his brother pushed him." Different stories. That would be an indicator that that child is abused. Another thing is that there might be different wounds at different times. They say that child has a wound here and is healing, and has a fresh one here, and has another one that is in between. So that could be an indicator. But we just don't even leave it there. We continue to look into details. Is there anything else that can tell us that this child is in danger? The other thing that social worker would look at is something we call neglect. And this means that that child is not being taken well care of. And for the indicators, there are the child is not thriving, the weight, the malnutrition. Once when I was working with our intervention, we had a child who was so malnutrited to a point that his legs had a different color, like a weird color. That child was not even eating well. So if a child is in that condition, you want to check more, and you want to make sure that that child is safe and is all doing well. The other indicator when it comes to neglect is that that child is taking food as if stealing. Even if there's so much food, it's grabbing or holding or hiding. That's not a good thing. The other thing is that that child is not clean. You know, you walk to a home, the child is filthy, the child is not clean. That is an indicator. Then from that, a social worker will not still take that child from you at that point. They'll still go ahead and see, is there another indicator? And that is emotions or behaviors. How is this child behaving? And a child who is in danger might behave like a feel insecure, might not even come to closer to you as a parent or as an adult. That is an indicator. Or the child has a flat effect. That means that the child is not even blinking. He's just looking like that. If it's an adult, you might say, oh, this person is deeply in thought. But what would a child be doing having such an effect? The other thing is that a child does not want to pray with other children, just want to pray by him or herself as a way of comforting. So when you look at all these indicators, and they are found in one child, to make sure that that child is safe, as a social worker will take them. But as we continue, we'll bring that child back, because we don't take a child and leave you that way. We'll work with you as a family, and eventually your child might come back. So that is what I have today, and have a blessed evening. Thank you.